All right, sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Pez's Picks. I'm Jeff Hartman, joined by the man with the picks, Pez. Pez, what's going on? How are you?
Jeff, we're talking golf before we got on the air. You're hitting balls today. We're
Yeah,
we're at the combine. We've got Coach KT Smith of the call sheet there. I believe it's our first Fans First Sports Network attendee of the
yep.
combine. What are the odds on him getting picked up to be general manager of one of these teams? I mean, I,
Better
I'm
than
I'm
being
putting.
picked up by police for something
Well,
that
that's
he should.
possible. It's possible. After watching the press conference from the Atlanta Falcons GM, whose name is slipping me, I think this guy's out of his mind, Jeff. What? How do you get to be a GM and be a lunatic? He's accusing his quarterback of lying about an injury. Who apparently Turd Cousins had an injury for 5 weeks before they benched him, and he hurt his throwing arm, and they didn't tell anybody. This
Yeah,
is a team that already lost picks 2 years ago for it. A $40 million backup in Atlanta. These are things we're going to keep in the Rolodex when we start putting out season picks, and that'll be coming in June. I mean, we're a couple months
yeah.
away.
And I think it's Fontenot is the GM down there. I think that might be it. I think if that rings a bell, but yeah. And then also there's rumors that the Raiders might be interested in Matthew Stafford and trading for him. And he and Tom Brady just happened to meet up at a ski resort in Montana. Just total happenstance, Pez. Like they just happened to be at the same exact resort at the same exact time, and they bumped into each other in the lobby, and they start talking about, well, maybe we should have you come to our team. It's just crazy how that works.
It happens, and I happened to be flipping through and saw a picture. Montana, great skiing, Jeff. It's an underrated place. I know people like the Yellowstone. My wife likes the Cowboys, and I watch it. Well, they're good-looking guys. I'm okay to say that, but the skiing out there. You can go to Big Sky, Montana. There's a place called North Star, which is the non-show-off place. There's a resort near Big Sky, which is a billionaire's mountain. That's actually a billionaire's mountain. It's called the Yellowstone Club. I saw it 2 years ago. I was out there in Big Sky. You can see the lift spinning. I don't think anybody skied all day. So it's a combination cowboy, billionaire, Tom Brady. I think Pez's Picks might have had our last trip there. I think it's $250 a day to ski there, and that's ridiculous,
Jeez.
Jeff.
Yeah.
When you surf the earth, it should be free. We could get into this whole communism talk here. We should be sharing this land. And I watched that Yellowstone. Damn it, they lost that ranch, Jeff. That show. What happened at the end of that show? You're telling me they couldn't have cut a deal to give the Native Americans their land back and keep that lodge and take 10 acres? That show jumped the shark, Jeff. That's neither here or there. That's a whole other talk here. What the heck happened? Costner,
Hey, yeah.
take the money and make the show, man. The show died with him. I mean, what? And they literally killed him on the show. I don't want to be a spoiler here, but Kevin Costner dead on the show. I mean, they showed that guy, and I mean that's television. Having said that, just a little hint here, Jeff. And Myles Garrett coming to the Eagles. I know you're hearing the rumors. I mean,
That would be crazy if it happened.
ooh, there's a strong rumor that Roseman's already contacted them and putting together a package that nobody else can put together. I know Washington's after him. We get him. Forget about it, Jeff. We're not going to talk about it. We're getting excited. We're getting a little sweaty on this here. So let's calm down. We'll get back to the NBA, which is just brutal, but we're hanging in there 2-1 last week.
Well, before we go to the NBA, let's talk about our hockey play last week. Because last week was the
yeah.
Four Nations tournament, and you said, hey, the U.S. is down a couple defensemen, that Canada's not going to go just off and die. They're going to have some fight to them after they lost to the U.S. team in Montreal. Now this was in Boston, and they do the thing, and they end up winning. One of the most televised hockey games of all time. At peak viewership was over 10 million people, Pez. Like, that's insane that this is a non-sanctioned tournament. Like, this isn't the Olympic Games. This isn't the NHL playoffs. This is a 4-country tournament that drew huge ratings. And you were right. Canada wins. You had -110.
I mean, and I got attacked for being not patriotic with this pick, Jeff. And, just to remind everybody, do I love the Birds? Of course. If I thought the Chiefs were going to win, we'd have loaded up the house on them and cheered for the Birds. I suggested be patriotic. Bet Canada. It's a win-win situation. Maybe you lose some money, but the United States wins. I thought that game was fantastic. That's one of the better hockey games I've seen in a long time.
Yep.
It was more physical than I thought it would be. At the end of the day, I think nobody would argue Canada. little bit more talented, little bit more stick handling, a little bit better skating. Goalie for the United States was fantastic. I think both goaltenders played great. And what a way to end overtime. I thought that was better than the Stanley Cup, to be honest with you. That was just a great tournament. I don't know. Are they doing it every year? I'm not sure. Is this
It's not every year. They're going to do it on the years where they don't have like the Olympics and or something else going on. So that it's going to be in lieu of the All-Star break.
okay?
But yeah, I think they are planning on doing it. It was a huge success. A huge
Great.
success. Like no one talks about hockey, and yet people were talking about hockey.
I think we need some villains, though, Jeff. Canada, U.S., let's calm down. I love that country, okay? That's a great country. I've spent a lot of time skiing there. Nice people. Let's get some villains. Let's get Russia. Let's get them to get a team in there.
They weren't allowed to play. They didn't let them play.
It's malarkey, Jeff. Let's get them in there. Let's get Sergei Fedorov back out there.
Sergei Fedorov.
That Kasparaitis scumbag. And let's get some real
Let's
villains.
Let's get Alexei Kovalev while we're at it. Let's get
Why
Kovalev out there.
Czechoslovakia get a team. I don't even know if that's a country anymore. We need a little bit more villains. Canada, America, let's calm down. Let's hug it out, okay? We both like maple syrup. Sure, they put mayonnaise on their fries and lard or curd or whatever the hell it is, but I love Canada. Great game. Great for hockey. I believe I don't even remember his name. We put a future bet in this summer for I think he's a Russian rookie on the Philadelphia Flyers to hit a certain point. I'm going to have to look that one up. I think we might have hit that one, Jeff. This kid's good. I don't know. You're the hockey guy. I don't even know. He's some rookie guy on the Flyers. I don't know. We'll look at hockey betting. Hockey betting, we start looking into when we get into crunch time here. And we might – I think the Penguins whipped up on the Flyers last night. Was it 5-1 or something like that? I'm pretty sure.
No, I think it was the other way around. I think the Flyers kicked the crap out of the Penguins.
Oh, okay.
You knew that. Shut up. You knew that.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. Sorry. Philadelphia. And those Philadelphia Phillies, we're going to get some non-strikeout guys in the lineup somehow. We're not going to be striking out. And my man Legs and I will be at some playoff games. I believe he was ejected last year. He was cheering against the Mets and the Phillies, and you can't do that in Philadelphia, Legs. So we'll be back in action soon. Great game, though. And hockey's a great spectator sport. I like that sport a lot. Street hockey, fantastic to play.
Yeah. And I'll say this. I've said this to anyone. I grew up playing the game. I played at street hockey, played on the ice and all that stuff. But still, you got to go and see it. People that don't like hockey, you have to see it live. You have to see, even if it's a minor league, like I grew up in Wheeling, there's a minor league hockey team there. And there's a million fights a game. Like it's a lot of fun. Like these guys, it's a raucous crowd, a raucous environment, but you got to see how hard they hit the puck and how fast they skate. It is a blast. Go watch a hockey game in person. That is where it's at.
Jeff, street hockey in South Jersey, where I grew up outside of Philly, I don't know if it still is, but that might have been bigger sport than anything. We had the 80s Flyers, and how many times were you holding on to someone's legs as they were dipped down a sore grate to get that pink ball back out? That ball, who made those sores back then? Maybe 1,000 balls went down those sores, and nobody ever died, but we generally got that ball out. Then I watched that Stephen King It movie and the clowns down there, but that a whole different conversation, Jeff. And that we could get into horror movie conversation because my son's 11 and he's mastered it. He's not afraid. I told him when you get scared, you hit the mute. I mean, it's the same thing you could do in football and sports when you're losing. Just hit the mute and take a walk. Everything will be better. Great week, though. Great week for Pez's picks with basketball. We're proud. And you compliment us on this a lot, Jeff. I think the skill to basketball betting, really any betting, is the strength to not bet. And there were a couple games that we were leaning and we pulled back. I have never seen teams with such a disparity between talented teams and horrible teams. And on top of it, they're still hitting lines. We hit a bet last Thursday. We took Cleveland over Brooklyn. I believe we put it out. It was 12. I think it went to 12.5. You come down to the last shot of the game, and I'm spinning through the plays here to get to it. We had a 3-point shot for Brooklyn, I believe, to push us there, Jeff. So we put it out at 13. A guy makes a 3-pointer on Brooklyn to push, which screwed us, but it's still a push. Games are hitting on the mark. I had a guy last night who took Doncic plus 400 to hit the first shot of the game. He takes the first shot. He bricks it up. The accuracy in basketball line setting is remarkably good. And on top of it, we're judging, the intensity these guys are playing, how much how much are they putting into these games? And I question a lot of these teams, and we're zeroing down on teams that are giving you maximum effort. Having said that, we had something. I think it's only happened twice in the last 25 years. I believe the best talented regular season team in the NBA, Oklahoma City, up 16, I believe, with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left. They end up losing the game outright. So that was a game we looked at. We considered taking it. Oklahoma City, Minnesota, they go into it. Minnesota was getting about 8 points. They're down 16 with 3:52. The coach even said, the game is over. He goes, that was it. We were done. A couple big plays. Oklahoma City goes cold, and they end up losing outright. Unbelievable turnaround for these games. So I caution people to really take their time, really be conservative when you're betting these NBA games, especially in February and March. Once we get to April and May, we're in crunch time. Things should straighten out a little bit. I still like the Lakers' chances. I think they're one piece away, but the two smartest basketball players in the NBA right now, you've got Luka and you've got LeBron. I think they need a big guy, and that team is playing good defense. We're patting ourselves on the back not for a win last night. I wanted to take the Lakers over Dallas, and it looked like an easy one. Last second layup, Dallas comes back, makes a layup, game over, they cover. So really proud of ourselves for laying off that. That looked like a trap play. We're recording on Wednesday. Another game we were looking at tonight, and we're going to lay off. I hope this comes back to to help. Well, we're not going to bet it anyway, but Boston, Detroit. How's Boston only laying 4.5 in Detroit? I don't know, Jeff, but that tells me that's a layoff game. That sounds like a trap game, and this is a big part of basketball wagering. You can get hurt very easily in basketball wagering, and it's the most painful thing to watch. You're betting on guys making free throws. You're betting on garbage time. I don't know how their algorithms hit these lines so accurately. Benches, they empty the benches, and these guys are still getting the number right. So at the end of the day, we're going to have restraint, and we're going to look to put 3 to 5 plays out a week. And I'm confident we're going to be hitting them, Jeff. We're 2-1 last week, and we're on a good roll.
All right, so let's talk about some NBA plays you're looking at tonight, Thursday night. Before we get into some golf talk and some just the gambling scandal that's hit the news, what are your NBA plays right now for Thursday night?
So, this will be for Thursday. We're recording on Wednesday, so the lines aren't out yet. I'm right now. We're taking the Lakers hosting Minnesota. Our guess and our system has the Lakers 3 to 5 point favorite. Minnesota coming into this game, injuries at center, and like we just talked about, the Lakers, their soft spot right now is their front line. They don't have a big man. The deal fell through for the guy they're going to take, some injury situation. So when we punch these numbers, Minnesota, a good team. Anthony Edwards, great talent. But we look at the history, only 9-7 career against the Lakers. LeBron, one of his best teams. He puts up numbers against the T-Wolves, 33-12. Averaging 25, 8, and 7, so he's close to a triple-double. Luka, not about the same numbers for his career against Minnesota. Lakers defending as good as anyone in the league, maybe the best defensive team in the last 6 weeks. Lakers on an 8-2 run, big win last night, against Dallas for Luka. When we look at against the spread, 44% Minnesota's covering. Lakers are about 55%, 60% at home. I think that, at the 20-7 record at home, the Lakers are going to get better. I think the Lakers are a team that's continually to improve, and that's what you want in the NBA. This is the time of the season you're looking to improve. If you're peaking or you're kind of plateauing like we're seeing the Knicks a little bit right now, that's danger for NBA wagering. I love the Lakers in this situation. I love them at home. It's showtime. Luka, LeBron, only going to get better together. A fun team to watch. Lakers, okay. We're going to be a favorite. I'm saying 3 to 5 points. I'll take them at 4 points, 5 points even. I'm thinking 3 or 4 would be a better line.
All right, what else?
We've got Denver. We're taking them at Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks, Jeff, I thought when they picked up Lillard, a guy who, I love this player. He's still averaging 25, 7 assists, and 5 boards a game. Damian Lillard, one of the most dynamic guards in the league. I figured they put him with Giannis, lights out. Hasn't gelled. I don't know what the deal is, and this is sports, so you never know how our guys are going to gel. We're going to take. We do have a line now for that game. Just came out. Milwaukee 3.5. We were going to say that we figured Denver would be a 3-4 point favorite. taking Denver on the road against the spread. Denver comes in 52% covering rate. They're averaging 5.5-point margin of victory. Bucks, disappointing season for us so far, especially gambling, only 45% covering rate. Denver, red hot, 9-1 last 10. They're looking to go into the playoffs. I mean, I think still the best player in the NBA is Jokic. I don't know. I don't know if we've had a talent like this guy. He's averaging 29 a game, 10 assists and 12 boards, averaging a triple-double as a center, as a 7-foot guy. I love this guy, Jeff. And if he's healthy, he wasn't for a little bit of the season in Denver. He looks to be priming again. 11-5 career against the Bucks. He's averaging a triple-double. He's got 9 assists, or he'd be a triple-double. Giannis, 8-13 career against Denver. It appears Jokic has his number, and Giannis, great player. His career numbers are much higher than his career against the Denver Nuggets. So I love this game. I think Denver rolls in there, outright winner. I'm looking at double digits for this one. So we are taking the Lakers. That line's still not out. We're taking Denver. We're going to lock that line in at 3.5, which I think is a fair line. And I'd say lock it up on Denver right now. Lakers too, as long as we don't get something crazy. If that comes out 6 or 7, we're going to pull the plug. But Lakers minus 3 or 4 points, Denver minus 3.5, and I love both those situations, those teams.
And to make sure you follow Pez's Picks on both Twitter and X, as well as Instagram at Pez's Picks to get all the latest updates and news. If he does pull the plug on that pick, you would know it there, since this is recorded on Wednesday. So, all right, Pez, let's talk some scandal before we get into the golf plays in the tournament this weekend. What are you thinking about all that news? And let people know what's going on in case they don't know.
So, this is a story that is kind of linked to there were a couple NBA guys, Jonte Porter, who was banned for life, and now they're looking at a guy named Rozier, who's a career player. I mean, a veteran in the league. I've never heard of this guy, Jeff. And at Pez's Picks, we only follow Pez's Picks. There was a guy who insulted us. He claimed to be the best that ever did it in terms of gambling. I'm trying to find this lunatic's name. A guy was arrested at the Las Vegas airport, flying to Colombia. Last name Hennon. I can't find this lunatic's name, but this guy, apparently they're wrapping up into college and NBA scandals going back years. And this is something being in both worlds of the gambling, Jeff, haven't been in the dark side of the world when we were undercover, it wasn't legal. And now in the legal world, it is easier to catch guys shaving points and to catch people gambling now. They've got algorithms. So if tonight's game for, whoever it might be, NC State, playing Duke or whatever, if you're getting millions of dollars on one of these games, they have algorithms that are picking up action that's not normal. They're now passing it on to the feds. And apparently this guy, Hennon, who had $10,000 on him and was going to Colombia for dental work, Jeff. Now, I don't know about you. I've never heard of Colombia for dental work. I've heard of it through other illegal things, and we don't prescribe that at Pez's Picks. But this guy caught on the plane, pulled off the plane. He's in federal custody. They're suggesting it's the biggest point shaving scandal in North American sports history. So I've read he might have some foreign connections as well, Russian or cartel, which makes sense to me. And I was talking about it with our CEO Ken the other day, and I was saying I am worried about gambling. I think if you're not greedy and if you're not putting a ton of money on individual games, we might begin to see more of this point shaving and more of kind of fixed situations, especially in the NBA. When you have guys who are career veteran guys who have blown a lot of money, they're on like an 8 or 9 year deal. They're making $500,000, and the guys might owe some millions. Maybe they lay off 5 or 6 shots a game. They get thrown a couple $100,000, and I'm worried that this is going to happen more at the college level with all this NIL money. I don't know if you saw it, Jeff. I don't know if we talked about it last week. Carson Beck, quarterback from Georgia, transfers to Miami. He had his Ferrari and Lamborghini stolen. What college kid has a Ferrari and Lamborghini? So if I'm on that team, right, or if any college player, basketball, football, and they're seeing these guys getting millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden the guy comes to you and says, "Hey, you're not getting any NIL money. I'll give you $50,000 if you maybe miss a couple shots down the stretch. Don't lose, but just don't cover." I can see that happening more, and I think that's an ugly part of the game. I think the NIL is going to cause more of this, and This is a story to watch. And, I'm going to contact our CEO to get the FFSN legal team on this. Any gambling bet we lost on a fixed game, I think we get that money back, Jeff. I think we should get it back to the people. That's what we should be looking for. Gambling should not be fixed. That's why we love the NFL. I don't think in the NFL you have any of this. I don't think it's possible. I think with the amount of money you're seeing guys making $30 to $50 million a year, you're not shaving points in that situation. It's a little bit more of a legit league. I think NBA and college sports, we're going to have to be buyer beware a little bit going forward.
Well, I don't think anyone that thinks this is a one-off or that it doesn't happen or hasn't happened in a long time, like, I'm sorry, you had your head in the sand. I mean, don't you remember the Nick Nolte movie Blue Chips, which, yes, it was a movie, but don't think for a second that crap didn't happen and you had players shaving points and not playing defense and, turnovers at critical times just to keep things up and on the up and up. Man, this stuff's been going on for a long time. He just got caught. Do you agree?
I agree it's been going on, but I think what happens when you're introducing cash into a sport, and what gambling now, I mean, it's everywhere. We've got
Yeah.
we've got every other TV commercial. It's everywhere. Celebrities, that it's become an accepted thing. So when it becomes accepted, I don't think shaving points and I don't think cash getting involved in fixed games seems as bad as it used to be, and that's what scares me a little bit. I you know I knew that stuff was going on, but I thought it was rare. I think there's going to be some jealousy when you're seeing NIL kids get money. And I think in the NBA and in a lot of professional sports, I mean, Otani, the same thing. My guess is Otani's translator wasn't the one betting $500,000, right? So I think sports gambling could become a little bit of a jeopardy in terms of sports legitimacy, in a lot of similar ways to insider trading, right? I mean, insider trading, if people don't know in terms of stocks, the CEO can't call Pez's picks and say, hey, dump Microsoft. Tomorrow it's coming out. We got a virus or something. I think we're maybe having that happen as well. Maybe if a player is injured, maybe Tom Brady. Who knows, Jeff? Let's go after Tom Brady since Nick Foles did. Tom Brady, he's a commentator and owner of a team. That's collusion, Jeff. Collusion on Tom Brady. I think Nick Foles said it right. Tom Brady, I hope he does every Eagles Super Bowl going forward. We're going to win anytime that guy speaks about our team. And to hell with Tom Brady, Jeff. To hell with that guy, all right?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you for sure. So, okay. Let's finish the show up talking some golf. So last week was the Mexico Open. It was also my best week ever with my picks on the Fairways and Dreams podcast. I do things a little different. I do a favorite to win, a long shot to win. I give you 2 top 5, 2 top 10, 2 top 20 picks. I got both my top 10s and I got the top 20s. So I was 50% on my picks last week at the Mexico Open. Now we have the Cognizant Classic and the Palm Beaches. This is just like the Mexico Open, a rough field because everyone's ready for the signature event the following week, the Arnold Palmer at Bay Hill. That's not this week, next week. What do you think about the Cognizant Classic? Shane Lowry plus 2,000 is the odds-on favorite to win.
Another crapshoot, I think. No one's coming in great form in this. And Jordan Spieth is playing, and who knows with this guy? I mean, he's great one week or one round, and he's not. I'm thinking that we saw it last week. What did the guy? It was 22,000 to 1 to win. Campbell that won last week. So I think this is another tournament. It might be worth putting $1 to $5 on some of these big numbers. And I think Lowry's chances are probably better than some of these higher ranked guys. But I'm looking at a guy, Emiliano Grillo, plus 35,000. I mean that's $10 to win $3,500. That's $1 to win $350. I think that's a better bet than betting a favorite this week. I like Joel Damon, Jeff, and I got a soft spot. I love this Joel Damon guy. Finished strong last week.
Yeah.
Probably his best tournament in a while. He's coming in at plus 12,000. So there's $1 to win 120. I like those odds a lot. Or $10 to win 1,200 or $5 to win 600. I mean, these are pretty good numbers for guys that I don't see anyone with a glaring advantage right now. So in terms of investing pre-tournament, I think you go for a little bit of a longer shot. It's a plotter's course. There's water everywhere down there. So it's not going to be, I think, advantage long hitters like some of these courses. That's why I think we're seeing the field like this. I think it's a plotter's course. You got to hit the fairway. You got to hit the green. And whoever's putter is going to be hot. I mean, that's probably who's going to be leading or going to end up winning. Michael Kim plus 5,000. Not a bad play. He's got the kind of game to win a course like this. And I got my great long shot, Jeff. Guy's got some decent numbers. A guy that Pez's picks, we've always got behind Brent Snedeker coming in at plus 60,000, Jeff.
Oh my gosh,
holy moly.
crazy.
60,000.
Brent Snedeker?
$10 bet's winning you 6 G's.
Yeah, but you think Brent Snedeker's going to win this tournament?
Punch some numbers on him. The guy's game, and he had some health issues. I don't know if you know this, Jeff. They had to cut his sternum open, which I don't even know what the hell why would anyone do that? Apparently, a medical doctor said to do that. So anyway, cut the sternum open and it rehealed, and that just seems medieval to me. But Snedeker, a tenacious guy. He's never had. He's one of those kind of grinder guys, and I think you're going to see a veteran or a no-namer win this, and that's kind of what the field is anyway. Snedeker's putting back in form. He's got some decent numbers in terms of PGA numbers. Hitting greens and hitting fairways. So plus 60,000. I'll take Sneds at plus 60,000. That's $10 to win 6,000 or $1 to win 600. I love it, Jeff. I love it. Who do you?
There's a reason why the odds are the way they are. He's not going to win the tournament. I thought for sure you were going to go Sepp Straka at plus 2,500. That's your boy. You love Sepp Straka. You always pick Sepp Straka. Like no matter what in doubt, pick
year
Sepp
for a
Straka.
top 20. Sepp Straka lock of the year, top 20.
Really?
Got top 20 in this tournament. You got to take him Sepp Straka at the top 20. I don't think he ever finishes out the top 20. I mean, he's a burly European guy, and they just like finishing and collecting their money and going home.
Sepp Straka top 20 is plus 125 odds.
That's pretty decent odds, I think. $10 wins you $12.50, and this is what we talk about. I don't know. I don't know if in terms of 150 guy field. I think you want to get big odds when you're going into these bets. If you're betting pre-tournament, once we get the cut, maybe you tighten it up a little bit. Jeff, do you watch the DP Tour, the European Tour?
No, I don't. I don't watch any tour besides the PGA Tour. I don't watch Live Golf. I don't watch the DP World Tour. I don't watch any of it.
They're on the Africa swing right now. You can watch live golf in Africa. I believe they're in South Africa this week.
They're in Kenya, weren't they?
Kenya last week, which was phenomenal. There's all kinds of animals. Jeff, the South Africa course. 2 years ago, I'm watching, and it's probably 6 a.m. I don't know. I'm up earlier. They had a actual cobra going down the cart path. There's tigers off the hole, not too far. You can see it's like a safari. I love the DP Africa Tour. I suggest everybody get up early. Maybe we'll throw some money on it. Pez's Picks going to take a look at this. I don't even know any of these guys in the DP World Tour right now. The Europeans all went to the Live, so I think that's a possibility. We're going to check that one out too, and we might have a play for the weekend for that.
Well, if you're curious about my picks, go check out my Fairways and Dreams podcast. It's Fairways, the and Symbol Dreams. I give you the press podcast is all about betting the upcoming tournaments. You can check it out for the Cognizant Classic. But you got to get it in. They're on the East Coast now, so the plays, if you're doing pre-round one, you got to get your plays in quick. It's not on the West Coast where you have a little bit more time on the East Coast.
If you got teeing off late, you might be able to get. But yeah, they're going to be teeing off tomorrow. This is Wednesday, so 7 a.m. Right? I mean, what a great
early. Yeah, get it in.
If you hit some more balls, I mean, I know you're a young man. Maybe the senior tour Pez's Picks caddy for you.
Hey,
Happy Gilmore too. I don't know if you watched the full swing. Season 3 is out. I
haven't seen the full swing yet. I heard it's good.
Oh man, I forgot how great this past golf year was. Scotty Scheffler was arrested, Jeff. What the hell happened to the world? He's so nice. I don't like him. He's too nice. The guy went to jail. But Happy Gilmore 2, they show you some sneak peeks. It's in production. I think they filmed it already. So possibly the greatest sports movie ever, Happy Gilmore, and I'm pumped for that part 2 or sequel, whatever the hell it's going to be.
Scotty Scheffler got arrested, was in a jail cell stretching and doing yoga. He shot a 66 that day, Pez. Think about that. He went as a PGA championship at Valhalla. He shot a 66 the day he got arrested.
It's still an unbelievable story. And a credit to that guy and, credit to the police, Jeff. I have a lot of cop friends. When you're in the gambling world, you got to know a lot of cops because they like gambling too. Tough job. I'm not faulting anyone. But what a crazy situation. Brooks Koepka popping up at TGL this week. Is there something going on?
Bryson DeChambeau turned down his extension with Liv. They're expecting him after 2025 to come back to the PGA Tour.
Brooks too, and his deal's up 2025 as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it happens. I miss those guys. Maria Jose Olazabal, great name, Jeff Olazabal. You know, you got to say there's a Z, but so Olazabal came out and said John Rahm is crushed over this move. He attacked him a little bit today. I read an interview in Golf Digest that he kind of went after the big Spaniard, and I miss that guy too. I hope they all come back together.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, Pez, any final thoughts before this weekend?
Well, let's tread lightly is the name of the game, and get outside, Jeff. We're going to get outside. We're going to try and do a little skiing again this weekend. So we'll be taking the nature in up in the Green Mountains of Vermont, and we'll be finding the numbers up there. When you're in nature, your mind's clear. Take a walk before you put these bets in. That's good advice.
There you go. Well said. All right, Pez, enjoy it, man. Be safe, and we'll talk next week.
All right, later.